Yes, good morning. This is CJ Plumbing. We are about to televise the main sewer line via the floor access cleanout, which is right there. It's a nice 4-inch access cleanout, and we are at 2802 Via San Delaro in Montebello, California. So we just went through the cleanout access, and now we're going through a 4-inch clay pipe. That's a connection to right there. And we're going towards the public sewer, so we're going downstream. We're looking for root intrusion or cracks or anything else. You can see a bunch of cracks there on the clay pipe and a little bit of roots at the top. Not so bad, but in the future it will be a problem. More roots here. Roots are usually a problem, common problem. Ficus trees, and they love to go gain access through those joints where the pipes connect. There's another small crack right there on the clay at the bottom. These are due to earth movements, shiftments, all that stuff. Looks pretty ugly right there. That looks like a bear head or something. I don't know what that is. That's pretty ugly. Yeah, that's getting hung up right there. That needs to be addressed. That's solids with paper, and I believe that's probably a DK root that is growing heavily at about 22 feet from the clean out. So that brings us to about where the curve is. Yeah, that's a problem right there, a huge problem, because the pipe is 4 inches and it's taking 50% of the diameter of the pipe. It's still open, but as you can see, it's holding solids, and it shouldn't be. And that cannot be removed with the regular snake. It has to be hydrojetted. Hopefully there's no break there. It's hard to tell when you have an obstruction. I'm going to try to go through it, but I'm not sure if I can. Yes, I did. I went through. Still, we're going now. This is under the street now. There's another crack there at the bottom of the clay. Minor root intrusion. Cucaracha. And this is just a transition between a 4 and a 6 inch, a bigger pipe, which is still ours. We're responsible for repairing it, renewing it, replacing it, whatever the deal is. We need to bring water so we can flush the cable. Unless you see one in the front yard. So we should be near the public sewer connection pretty soon. We're about 70 feet out. Yeah, I'm past the middle of the street, so I guess this line takes a turn and goes downhill towards that corner where the stop sign is. There it is. I think that's our saddle tee, which means connection between the house and the public sewer. Yeah, that's it. That's it, right there. Exactly 80 feet away from the cleanout. That's the public sewer right there. This is where all the hoses connect. This is called our saddle tee. It looks in good shape. Now let me run some water and I'll do a retrieve. Alright, let's run some water here. Good luck, brother. Just a quarter, that's fine. Okay, we're running some water here on the main line clean out access. Just to check the flow and also to clean my cable rod as I bring it out. Overall and all in all, this line just needs a little maintenance, possibly a hydrojet. Again, there's minor cracks on the clay, but that's a given, that's normal. We have pretty good flow. About 50 feet out. Should be able to see that right there. Alright, so this is where the that's a transition right there between the driveway and the street. Minor root intrusion. Minor roots. There it is. That's about the only big concern that I would bring it to your attention. I don't know what that is, but it looks to me like a huge, gigantic root that penetrated the pipe, and it's offsetting or taking about 50% of the diameter of the inside of the pipe. Right there, see that? It looks like a big finger root right there, and it's holding poop and paper. Yeah, possibly a hydrojet may alleviate that issue. If not, it's 22 feet away, meaning it's inside of the property, so that can be dug out and repaired in the future. Right now, it's still flowing. Nothing's getting hung up. But if you ever get a main sewer backup, this would be the culprit. This is the reason why. Yeah, it's something growing in there heavily. Slowly but surely. Alright, other than that, it looks pretty decent. Again, with minor cracks on the clay, but nothing drastic except that obstruction there. This concludes the sewer pipe inspection here at this property in Montebello. Over and out. Thank you.